Yeah, so he thinks so. He's getting all hyped.
All right, now we are. Now we are. They can hear everything now.
No, you didn't.
I swear. I swear they can hear everything. Menace is on the screen right now.
I wanted the jug to pull up. That's all I wanted.
He said,
"Oh my god!"
I know
we are up right now. What is up, everyone?
Still had to pee.
Yes, every once in a while we gotta hire an assistant to help him do that. You know.
I just need a jug like Wolverine.
There you go.
Aye. But what's up, everybody, to this week's episode of the Primecast. So we didn't do an episode last week with good enough reason. We have a full cast this week, and I'll let them introduce themselves. But one thing that we do want to make clear, and we're always going to try and keep these conversations as balanced as possible, because we know we all have our different preferences and such. So we appreciate you guys waiting a week to be able to hear out this episode. Now, without further ado, let's introduce ourselves in this order. The order I got you on my screen. So that would be Instill, Menace, Bearded, and then myself. Tell people what you're all about and tell them a little bit about yourself. Go for it.
All right, guys. How's it going? I'm Instill. What brought us all here and what kind of...
I'm waiting for you.
Right? Like, what is this? My dude's about to sit down and be like, well, once upon a time. I
feel like we're all gonna have an intervention. All right, well, brought us all here. Bearded, you.
Go ahead, and so take it away.
He muted himself or something in here.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Unless he's doing that shit on purpose.
You can hear you on your stream, but not here in Zoom.
Question mark? We just lose him?
What?
He's talking. I can hear him on his stream. I got his stream pulled up. He's talking on his stream, and I can hear him, but I cannot hear him on Zoom.
Try this, and still bottom left of Zoom, where your microphone's at, click the little arrow and make sure that your proper microphone. There he is.
There we go.
There we go. All right.
How did you hear me before?
Your stream.
I got your stream pulled up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm working, man. I'm the best guy you can have. All right.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So
do over.
Damn, the whole time. Okay. So, hello guys. How you guys doing? Let me actually pull up the chat. Say what's up to everyone. So, thank you guys for joining us on my first episode of Primecast. I think this is episode 6 overall. Going over Overprime, but our love for Paragon really brought us here, guys. And whether you're a fan of any of the remakes from Pred to Overprime, the love for the game and the hope that it becomes even better than what Paragon could have been is why we're all here. So thank you guys for joining us. And I'm super excited to work alongside Wolverine, Windu, and Menace today. That's going to be exciting.
Appreciate you being here, Kyle.
Yes, very excited for you to be here. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a great journey.
We've been waiting for this reunion for 6 episodes.
Last year.
Yep. Windu literally told me, "I'm removing you from the group if you don't show up today." And I said,
"Well, I didn't say it like that. No, hold on, I didn't say it like that."
hey, it worked. I'm okay.
Take it over, Menace.
All right, what's going on, everybody? It's good to see everybody back again. I am Menace Rex. I am one of the Paragon Overprime partners. You guys can find me, Menace Rex, on every social media. We're here to do another episode talking about some spicy Wukong.
All right, I'm the Bearded Wolverine, your Michigan wonder, and very excited to bring this episode to you. This one's going to be a spicy one. We're going to instill some spiciness for you, okay?
Ooh.
I wasn't ready.
Okay. All right. You know what? I can't even be mad.
No, he doesn't know.
I can't even be mad. I dig
It's going to be my first time playing League of Legends, so just bear with me.
What the fuck? Oh, yeah. You're on League right now?
No.
Yeah,
he's multi-tech? Okay.
No.
I was about to say, oh my god. You imagine if we all decided to do the cast while we talk.
Smite.
But
no, I'm kidding.
But no, so we appreciate everybody being here. I'm Windu, also known as Windu the Mace. I do mobile content, a little bit of strategy, a little bit of racing content here and there. But all in all, I gotta say, as somebody that's been following, making content, technically reporting, right, on this game ever since the days where it technically was overthrow, that shit is wild how far this game has come. I don't know if I necessarily agree with some of the changes that have happened recently, to be real with you. We're going to dive into that. But let me ask just the lobby real quick. Has everybody tried Wukong or not yet?
I have.
Okay, everybody tried them. Okay. So first of all, I'm literally going to reiterate a tweet that I made. I think this is the absolute worst hero that Overprime has released. I'm going to start off strong. And it honestly shook my confidence in Paragon The Overprime. I want to hear.
What did you play Wukong as? Did you play him as jungle or solo?
So I actually took him into practice and I played him as solo, and I do think as solo it's a big mistake to play him. Like, for anybody that's curious, if you want to be successful at Wukong, from what I've seen, farm your ass off, grab every objective possible, push a lane. The moment a fight starts, run away with that mobility that you got.
Now, can you actually out farm the solo lane because of the minions having like the gold glow?
So the farming was decent on solo. I honestly, if I started a 1v1, regardless of the situation, there was a good shot that I was losing it. Unless I very, very like high skill outplay, like I barely made it out with an inch of life. But farming wasn't a problem. Like, even in the solo lane, I was able to farm like crazy. I was able to shove the wave. I was able to grab the green buff. I was able to invade and grab a jungle camp because I was constantly shoving. That wasn't the issue. My biggest issue with Wukong was the connection of the combos between his kit, the way that they designed him. I wasn't a fan of. Like, they made his, for lack of a better word, his movement passive and ability, right? But it's a passive. And when you stand switch, the cooldown applies to both. So I can, let's say if I want to, float midair and then slam down with the offensive stun, I can't do that because I either have to choose between walking in the air or the offensive stun. So I don't like the choices that they made there. I understand that that's a way to balance him, but there's other ways that they could have gone. I just, bro, I absolutely hate him. I don't think he's fun at all. So
I got a lot. I'm pretty sure I have over 10 hours with him already. And I would definitely say he caught me by surprise as well. I played OG Paragon Wukong, and I was definitely coming in head first with that same play style. But now that I'm seeing him more in ranked now, like you really have to, and the successful people who are doing it too in ranked, they are solely committed to what's it called, like lane pushing and objective taking. And then when that fight happens, like they're usually the last one to come in. I personally don't see his movement based abilities as a way to get out. I think it's just more of ways to reposition, if anything, because just with the way the speed is set up and travel mode and all that, it's honestly tough.
Well, let me.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I agree with Windu with the trying to combo his abilities. It's not there. You can't. It's not able to do that, right? So I didn't mind his abilities, like his ultimate. You the 84,000 hairs, whatever it's called, or whatever. Have that, like, just keep on clones. I thought it was really cool. The animations, everything with his animations and how he feels is smooth.
Everything was super smooth.
Yeah. But to play him and to understand him now, I'm not a jungler by any means. So like if he can only be in a jungle, then I don't think that's right, because they even explained to him in the video they released that he's great for split pushing. Well, junglers don't split push, right? That's not what they're like. That's the solo laner's job, or maybe a mid laner or something like that. But like I just don't like. I don't think he was introduced correctly with the way his kit is played.
Okay, you're talking about like they didn't set the proper expectations, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a small piece of me that thinks that it was done intentional.
What do you mean?
As when the moment everybody knew Wukong was coming out, it was everywhere how strong or broken Wukong was going to be.
Hey, you remember Paragon when he released? He was able to take tier 1 and 2 within like 10 minutes,
and then fight all 5 people right after.
Yeah, you remember that? So they kind of underwhelmed him, and I think they're going to scale him up. I agree.
Yeah, because there will be a tune patch, right? They always do one after hero releases, a week or two, whatever, whether it's a nerf or a buff. And I see him getting a buff once they've seen all the data from people playing them and hearing everybody's feedback and stuff like that. Because he's honestly at this point, if I'm playing him, it's probably because of pride. At this point, I'm just like, man, I want to see if I could win with this hero, even though I know he's not that good.
That's like what playing Muriel Carey.
Yeah,
but I mean, no, I have more faith in Muriel Carey because here's my problem. Here's my problem. Wukong almost ensures that the majority of team fights are going to be a 4v5. If he's doing his job properly, he will be split pushing. He will be grabbing Prime Spirit, Prime Guardian consistently, even by himself. Because as soon as that man hits level 6, he can go grab Baby Prime, no problem.
Bro, his peel is good though, because I've done some crazy stuff jumping over those walls or cloud like walking, and
oh my god, the flying Nimbus! You saw that shit, bro?
Yeah, you can get in and out. I got eaten by Feng Mao every time I went against him in solo, though. It didn't matter how farmed I was, how over farmed I was. If I was beating
his 1v1 is horrible, bro.
Murdered.
Horrible. But you bring up a great point, and I think they almost like doubled down on making him a split pusher, because his fighting, no offense, quite frankly, sucks. When you're in the middle of a fight, you can either stun right in front of you or stun and push him 37 feet away, right? And then you're stuck choosing one of your 2 passives by jumping, and then once you use it, they're both on cooldown. So he's got a lot of mobility all throughout his kit, and I think that's where he reigns. But I think staying and fighting with Wukong is a bad choice unless maybe you're trying to melt like somebody super squishy like a Sparrow or something that you're ahead. So I think they doubled down on him. I just don't like the fact that they made him such a heavy pusher.
And to go off what Menace said, if that was their intent, if this was on purpose, I think they failed, right? Because if it was bad enough to where Windu stopped streaming, he literally shut down stream. He was completely upset with it. Like, hey, this is not what I remember Wukong being. Shut down stream, said I'm done with this, and made a tweet right after. Like, he's not the only one doing this, right? Maybe then I'm putting a tweet out there, but there's other people that are shutting down. Like, hey, I'm not even happy with the game right now. I don't even have faith in the devs right now. If this is how they release this hero, I think that's the worst thing you can do. When we talk about this with multiple hero releases, you release the hero and you release them somewhat overpowered, what we like to say overtuned, right? You don't want them to be overpowered OP at all, but make them overtuned. That way, when somebody comes in, you can buy the hero and you feel great with them because, oh man, I just stomped with this hero. I did really well with them, right? But when you go in, it's like, I can't do shit with this hero. Then it's like, you know what? I don't even want to play it right now, right? Or you go play a different game. And that's the last thing this development company wants to do. They don't want to push people away. So by doing that is a bad situation.
Yeah, it definitely could be.
Now, hold on.
I'm just ready for the patch at this point, man. I'm just ready.
Now, there's a way that, like, for instance, Warzone, they do their gun releases in their little packs to make money. They'll make like a new gun, super OP, and all the YouTubers are going to make their videos, and then everyone's going to buy that gun, right? Do you think that because you have to buy characters in this, if they do... I mean, Wukong is an exception because he's underwhelming, but do you feel that maybe it's better to be overwhelming on these characters and like maybe they're a little bit
at least first week
fun?
Yeah, at least first week.
Marketing wise, it just makes money. It makes sense to make money off of it. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Well, and think of it like this too. Menace.
You don't want it to be pay to win, right? You don't want it to be that overpowered, just overtuned. You know, let's have it be that, man, this guy's strong. Like, I can still beat him, but man, he's a pain in the ass to deal with. Like, that's what it should be.
And Menace is a Overprime partner. Right? Like, it really should be like, I should be seeing Overprime partners making videos and breakdowns and etc. at least a week or two before the hero gets released to start building up hype, right? I would love to see that shit. Like seeing like, oh, here are Menace's takes, etc. And this is what he feels, or like, yo, he thinks that I should build the character this way, but then Urana over here, she thinks I should build it this way. And then Mangoose, he's over here like, yo, the way to do it is dip and run, bro. You get in there, you do what you got to do and get the fuck out. Go to a different lane and rinse and repeat. Like, I want to see shit like that. Second? Yeah, go for it.
You mentioned that. I'm like the only person in the world who loved the Paragon 3-card system. Like, everyone was campaigning. I loved it. Items, I loved it, dude. Possessed Spriken, like, excuse me, like, you remember how you
like hey, Godmother Vigilant was untouched. I don't want to hear it.
Oh man, like, the art for the cards was even great. I mean,
dude, it gave me the Magic the Gathering feels to it.
Yes, it was like a card game within the MOBA.
So that was the original idea that they had within the original game, right? But and it's a very valid. Let's have this conversation here as far as Paragon the Overprime, right? Especially adapting the name Paragon. There's a lot of things that people are going to expect. I personally am of the, I don't know, majority or minority that a traditional MOBA system will appeal to the masses more, even though it's not Paragon. Right?
Well, wait. I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time?
It's hard to say though, because Paragon had so many different systems. It's like, which one are you saying is Paragon?
Well, I mean, whichever one you prefer, right? Because they had the legacy, the point card system, and then they had the 3-card system for Monolith. But I'm saying, I think them having a traditional item system is the correct way to go, because it is more familiarized throughout. One of the original struggles within the game Paragon was that learning the item system was an even bigger hurdle, as opposed to just filter power. That was horrible, bro. I remember just trying to unlock a Rust Breaker as a carry, bro. Yeah. I was like, I just want a fucking card.
God forbid you were a new player.
Right. Yeah, that was the worst thing with that situation. But I think, and I said this before, and for those of you who haven't heard me, I'm sorry. Or for those of you who've heard me already, I'm sorry I'm repeating it. But if those who haven't heard it, when I was playing Paragon for my first time playing, I played just before version 42, and they came with a 3-card system, right? And that card, that little, like, they had a little 4 section, then you had 2 cards off of it. I didn't understand what was going on. I'm like, what is this? I was trying to play the game. I didn't know what a MOBA was. I was like, I'm confused as all hell. But then when they came with a 3-card system, it allowed me to just pick 3 cards and have my early game, mid game,
simplified
and
it for you.
I could just sit there, and then I could just, I can focus on the game. I could focus on the game. I knew, all right, hey, there's an objective. Oh, we gotta go get Raptor. We gotta go get Prime. Well, there's actually things to do in this game, and I'm trying to learn that as a new MOBA player. I didn't have to worry about my cards and what cards I was getting and building into it, and what tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 of the item I have. I just have, hey, here's my 3 items. When I have enough, I can switch out for a mid item. Here's my 3 mid. All right, when I have enough, I can switch out for a late game item. And that was my 3 items. I made it so much easier for a newer player. But I do agree.
I can see that.
Now that you get the time, get the time to understand the items in a traditional MOBA item shop. It is a lot better this way. This is so much better, so much diversity. You're not locked in. You can actually counter build now. This is the way it needs to be. But that made it so much easier for a newer player.
What if? Hear me out, and this is something Paragon the Overprime might be able to do. We've always wanted preset builds, right? What if? Maybe, let's say they don't allow you to create your own builds yet, because that might be more complicated and etc. But what if, just depending on your character, they would give you the option to choose an auto build? Like, imagine I pick Steel, and it'll immediately give me the option tank, support.
Well, wasn't that on the roadmap? I know you've been gone for a minute, but I think that was on the roadmap.
Auto builds in general, or what do you mean?
They had. I got to pull it up. Something about preset building. Maybe somebody in the chat can try to enlighten, because I'm having a hard time remembering.
It might have been on the video that they did. Did we do the video yet? We might not have done the video.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I could trust Dapper, because he's
Dapper saying preset builds are planned.
Yeah. Preset. Yeah. Because I remember Dapper was here with us, Bearded, and we were talking about this.
But preset builds that we create and preset builds that they give us or new players is totally different. Is what I'm saying is, imagine a new player starts as carry, right? And it'll just give them an option: attack speed and lifesteal, power and crit. You just pick one of those two options, and that is your build. You don't have to touch anything else. Just to kind of give a new player a little bit of a choice, while simultaneously be like, hey, everything is on auto build for them. They just play the game.
Yeah.
Give them two options.
I had said that as long as they don't lock out that player from wanting to, deviate from that preset, then I think it'll be fine. It'll give people that time to like come up with a somewhat decent all-round build on a lobby or whatever and take it in game. But obviously, every game's going to be different, playing against different heroes, different comps, different aggressive to different teams, all this stuff. So you have to be able to allow them to separate from that build if they need to.
And with the presets, I hope they do a customizable builds. Like you could just, hey, these are my preset that it is. These are my 8 items that I normally play with. Let me just put these 8 in, so I just go right to that page, and that page stays on the whole time, and I'm not sitting there fumbling searching for different items.
Do you guys feel like we have less creativity in this new system though? Because I feel like I was always on Agora looking at builds for characters back in Paragon, and on this I really don't care. You know what I mean? On this it's like, all right, there's a few good items. I think that comes down to not having enough items. I feel like, especially as an ADC main,
or variety.
I have like only 3 items that I can pretty much play with, and that's it. And then the rest of them are just kind of throwing on depending on what's happening in the game. Yeah. But there's not like and I'm only using it as a comparison. But playing Predecessor, I could literally go into Predecessor as an ADC. I'm like, all right, what do I want to do? Let's do physical power crit. Let's do physical power attack speed. Let's do a physical power pen. I can literally just pick a bunch of them, and that's what I'm going to build. I'll build 6 items just on physical power pen. I can't do that in Paragon The Overprime. Like you could literally have to pick. These are your 3 items you can pick, and then you kind of help build off of that. What's going on? And they need more items for sure.
Yeah, and you notice like the grass in Overprime, there's a lot more grass, there's a lot more invisibility, like
you're talking about like the shadow pools. The grass. If you notice, Pred has a lot less, and they're in like different spots that I feel aren't good for combat. I feel Overprime put the grass in good spots to where it does like near let's say what is it, Prime Guardian. There's those on either top side, of the platforms. There's on the ledges. Grass there, which if you get in a fight there, it's good to hide, or if you're going to jump somebody, it's good to hide. Pred does not have that. Pred doesn't have any shadow pools at all.
Doesn't have any shadow, and I'm okay with that, to be honest with you. But I mean, I'm also okay with it being in the game. So if it's going to be in the game, I like them both in their own way. I think it needs to work correctly though, and I don't think PTO does it right. I think if you back, or if you do any ability, you attack out of that, you need to be shown. Like you need to be like detectable. You can literally be a rampage and throw stand in the grass and just throw your rock, and then you're just gonna be all of a sudden there's a rock just coming at you. Like,
is that how it works in League? Like you're shown if you're in the grass and you attack?
No, in League you're completely.
I would keep it like League then. I mean,
so wait, in League when you shoot an auto, you don't get detected, is what you're saying?
Like while you're in grass?
No, you don't. The only way, let's say me, you, Mundu, we're in League and we're fighting each other. If me and you are in a bush and we're fighting, and one of your teammates are nearby, because you are now giving vision in that bush, your teammate can now see it too. But let's say what's it called? Nobody else was around us, or let's say you were out of the bush and I was in the bush.
Yeah. So if you do a Richter pull from inside the bush, we can only just see the tentacle that extended out, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have any shadow step cards or items either.
And the only reason why I think I know for a fact they're not going to make it like that is because if they make it like that, it's going to be an exact replica of the fog pool, where the fog pool, if you do any action, you will get revealed. And it just doesn't make sense to have 2 different things having the exact same mechanic.
Yeah, no, they either have to go either or, for sure. Yeah. I do like the fact that when you move, the grass moves with you.
Yeah,
That's a nice touch. I wish it were a little bit more pronounced, to be honest with you.
Call of Duty need to copy their footstep audio, bro. That shit is on point. That shit saved me so many times, bro. I hear these footsteps. I can tell what character it is too, because they all got their own unique footstep sound.
Right.
How do you guys, let me ask you guys real quick, as far as, since we're on the subject of character releases and such, how do you guys feel about certain characters, like Paragon characters, costing less, and then their own unique characters, like Xena, for example, costing more? Because Xena was 5,000 of the free currency, and then Wukong was only like 2,000.
dude, Xena will whoop Wukong's ass. She's beast.
Everybody whoops Wukong's ass.
Dude, I know, but like she really whooped
And you see Muriel Wukong's ass.
Man, dude, I've seen some. She has a great knockup. She has a great her right click is nice. I mean, like her kit is just disgusting.
I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me in one bit. Like it makes sense that they didn't. It wasn't like they didn't have the pieces and they
like,
just like,
as easy.
built this. They literally had to build this from the ground up. Like, so they took more time into this hero. It's their own IP. Like, I'm all about it. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, and honestly, since the initial release of the struggle to get Renard, now it's not that hard to get Renard nowadays. I think
it's a lot easier.
Yeah. Last night, from like the couple games that me and Terry played, I probably got like 3,000, and I didn't even play that long. I was playing maybe like 2.5 hours. So,
you guys played ranked at all?
That's all I play.
How does it work? Like, do you like the MMR? Do you like the way that it works?
So it's definitely all over the place right now. There's a lot of gripes and complaints. There's still like people who not getting placed in like my go-to lobbies. That's where I'm at right now. People are dodging, for many different reasons. It's honestly not the best. It has its flaws.
The people not being placed going into your lobbies though makes sense though, because that's what your placement matches are. Like, what if that person's on like a 5-game win streak, right? They worked their way up to that goal too. Now they are, and if
they're in temporary gold,
that's kind of their placements, right?
Yeah, for
placements. Okay, good.
No, placements is
solo queue. Yeah, and then after that, and then you can only max 2.
If I purposely
wouldn't know that.
Bomb my 10 placements and I get placed in what, iron or bronze?
You'll be with him.
Would that be good for content?
Bronze 8.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you, man. Your placement matches are pretty much going to be a shit show regardless. I'm gonna be real.
Are they?
like I promise you, I was in. Okay, so my first placement match, right? I was gonna, and this is how I found out that I couldn't do duo in placement, right? I was with my buddy Huddy. He's already like silver gold area, right? And it was like, yo, let's duo, let's go. And then he's like, can't do it. Fuck. Okay, I guess we're both got a solo queue. We'll solo queue for a little bit. Why not? Solo queue. We're in the same fucking game, same team. Solo queued. And I'm like, what the fuck is the point of this? I'm like, okay, whatever. But bro, I promise you, and this is the nicest way that I've been able to word it. And correct me if I'm wrong. I said some fancy terminology before, Menace. But the amount of critical learning that had to be done, the amount of critical learning that had to be done by these teammates that I had, I was honestly sitting there like, bro.
Well, think about it.
Elmer's glue has some potent customers, bro.
There's going to be a lot of people that come in, never played a MOBA before.
For sure.
What's the best thing Overprime can do to get these guys up to speed?
To get them up to speed.
Don't let them play ranked.
Don't let them play ranked that quick.
I think them lowering the level 5 for ranked. Back in the day with OG Paragon, it was level 5 for PvP. Before level 5, you would do only AI. Now it's level 5, you're into ranked. I'm talking about, my dude, you don't even know a quarter of the items yet. You might still be doing recommended builds, and you're hopping in. You don't even know what the Prime Spirit buff does, and you're playing ranked.
Hey, those recommended builds are not bad though.
They're not horrible. No, they're not horrible at all.
They can get them to pass. You know, that'd be good.
Yeah, they're not bad, but you still need to understand more about the game. Again,
Yeah, but
level
let's
5,
break
you
this
can
down.
play. You can play 3 of the 5 roles, and you're still not going to understand what the other 2 roles are. You'd be level 5 already.
Let's break down, what does understand the game mean in order of importance? If we're going
Game
to break
sense.
down the top 3 to 5, most important thing to do, is it going to be knowing what character goes to what lane? Is comp?
That's
like
huge.
Choosing?
I would
Is that number 1?
Well, no, I would say in order: game sense, hero
Okay.
kits, items,
Let's break that down. What's game sense?
experience, knowledge, what decision to make when, the difference
I'm a
that
brand new
separates.
player. I'm not even there yet. Like, I'm talking brand new player come in. What are the top 3 things I should focus on first? Is it the same thing?
Well, yeah, I would still say the same thing, because game sense is developed through experience, right?
Mhm.
Like the moment you the moment you overextend and get ganked, at that point you realize subconsciously, it's like, hey, maybe I should back up, or there's got to be something that I could do to prevent that from
You
happening.
gotta do something.
Like the critical thinking
rewards.
starts kicking in, but that's how you develop game sense. Like, and I'm sure that we've all done it here, where you're in a point that you're shoving to the inhib, and then you look at the map, you see nobody, and then you immediately say, I'm fucked.
Yeah, but how do we? Let's talk. The Tarkov experience. So many people
Yes.
get Tarkov and they hate it. They'll put in 20 hours, but they don't have a Sherpa to show them. There's no tutorial for that game. In order for Overprime and Pred to both be individually successful, I mean, Overprime, because it's not paid right now, I think it has a little bit of an edge because you could get more players in.
True.
But how do you retain those players? Is you have to handhold a little bit. And if you don't have a friend that plays, it's just like the Tarkov experience. You'll play 20 hours not knowing what the hell you're doing, gaining your experience, but in the wrong way,
Fair.
because you have no idea. You're just brawling and dying and getting pissed off.
How about not necessarily, because a tutorial would be great, right? But do you guys remember playing games even back to the PS2 where hints would pop up on a consistent basis? Like, and you can disable them, but even just little reminders of like, hey, you have 1,000 gold, go spend, popping up in the corner.
I love that. That's a great idea, Wendy.
I swore OG Paragon had that at one point.
Yeah.
To some degree, whether it was on a loading screen or in the game or something like I swore they had something.
Yeah, because Instill brought up a great fucking and valid point. It's just possible for all these players to be learning in the wrong way, and they think that they're learning, but they're just running in a circle.
The game, and they think it's a bad game because they're having a bad experience. They're getting yelled at. They say that, oh, this is toxic. You know what I mean? Like, we come at this as experienced players, but I guarantee you, when Paragon was Paragon at Epic Games, they had roundtable discussions often on how to cultivate a healthy environment for the new players to make them turn into veteran players, right? Like that is what's gonna be the live or die of the remakes.
Agreed.
Right there.
That's a very valid point.
I'm that I'm literally that person you just described when Paragon dropped, right? I picked up Paragon, I got it free on PlayStation, and I just played a MOBA that I had no clue what I was doing. I'm Murdocking down in duo lane. I'm getting ganked all the time. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm dying. But I was still having fun.
Yeah.
And I was gaining my game sense. Was I doing it the wrong way? Was I not understanding what was going on? But I was still starting to understand more and more as I went, right? The more you play, but I wasn't just jumping into ranked, right? And I wasn't ruining the experience for other players, right? So that's what we're saying, is that with this, the dropping them to, and even Dapper said they dropped to level 5 because everybody was in an uproar wanting to get into ranked, because the ranked players, you have Soul Reaper, you have Menace, like these guys want to play ranked. They know what they're doing. They've been in this game for a while, but not everybody has. The game's free now. A bunch of people are in here. You drop it down to that. Now all of a sudden you got all these people playing ranked, and it's like I'm better than them, but like they don't need to be here. You need to again just play casual and learn, get that game sense, understand, because there's one thing you're not going to, level 5, one thing as a new player you're not going to understand. You need to look at the minimap awareness is going to be nowhere on that situation. And that's something that really needs to get picked up. Like, I'm still bad at it myself. I'm a lot better than what I was when I played Paragon, but like, that's insane.
I have a solution that they easily could have implemented. So I think the counter argument there was everybody wanted to play ranked, so they lowered the minimum to level 5 so everybody could get there faster. But why didn't they just grab a page out of Call of Duty's book and be like, hey, first week, double XP. Everybody that's here, everybody that's grinding right now will get there faster. And then the second wave of players coming in that are new appropriately scale as they go. They easily could have done some adjustment towards the beginning to give that experience pool, the ones that have been playing, the necessary boost to get to where they wanted without affecting the longevity. But like right now, we got people a month into the game. Let me take that back. Not a month into the game. We got people that within their first week of ever playing the game, not knowing what they're doing, playing ranked. Yeah, because that's the cool thing, right?
Yeah, maybe they think that's what they need to do. I have a question for Menace. So Menace, it seems like you know a lot about the way League works, right? Yeah. So how does League bridge that gap of the new player coming in and what is that experience like? Because I've played League before. I played the tutorial. For
rank. So are we talking about rank?
No. Just they join the game for the first time. Right, on League, they're just going through the tutorial. They just finished the tutorial. All right, now what is it? Are they put in a boot camp area with a bunch of new players? Yep,
you have co-op versus AI, and you have to get level. Okay,
is there AI in this game yet?
No. Well, you can do a custom and add AI bots, but it's not an official AI mode. But it is on their roadmap to implement an AI feature later on down the line. It's not in this first fiscal quarter. It'll be, sometime this year. But I think, after you get those placement matches done, or not placement, those co-op matches, then you get thrown into the ability to quick play. And if I'm not mistaken, you can do a draft pick version of quick play. And then you have to get a certain amount of levels and characters before you can even unlock ranked. That way you can still have the ranked feeling with the draft system and all that, but it's still technically quick play, if that makes sense.
Would you like that to be in Overprime? You think that's a good system?
I think so. I mean, me personally, I hate mirror picking. I hate open queues. I love draft all day. It gets people thinking a little bit more smarter and a little bit more in depth on that draft lobby when you see who you're playing against and who you can't play. You know what I mean? It's honestly part of the game. So I think it will help. But to the same time, to a brand new pool, I feel like they're just going to need that open queue. They're just going to just play whatever you want at that point.
So number one, just put in game time. Put in game time to gain that experience.
I think that's huge. Yes, I think that's huge.
Yeah. Game time's going to be huge. I think another thing is don't be so hard on yourself, because I played OG Paragon on fucking release, and I swear I wish I had my PlayStation 4 still, and I could pull up the screenshot. My first game, and I sent it to a good friend of mine. I was like, bro, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in this game. I was 0-42 as Gideon, and I was like on one of the silence. I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
You were version 42 as Gideon?
No, 0-42. Like first rendition of Paragon, and that happened to me like for the first couple weeks. First mobile I ever played, first everything. So it was a brand new game to me, and I think people need to not be so hard on themselves and not just be so quick to just hang up the mantle. It's not.
So you're saying all this time and nothing's changed?
Now get the fuck out of here.
I will say though. So going back to what you just said there, it is different times though. Like back in 2016, people, the entire gaming industry was very different. People were a lot more forgiving. Like a beta still meant something totally different back. What's 2016 already? 9 years ago, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I think that, and that's something that these games have to really struggle with, because I don't have even remote answer for how to address that as far as people's perceptions, what they expect out of a beta, what they expect out of an early access, how well polished it has to be. Like, people literally will pick this game up and just think, hey, this is the game. They don't care that if it says early access or not. They say this is the game. It's finished. It's finished, but they're adding characters. They'll literally say it just like that. So what do you guys think that Overprime as a company can do to handle the difficulty and perspective from people coming in.
Say that again.
I'm gonna totally like sidestep the question, but try to answer it
because I was like, what?
No, it's I think they need to figure out their identity first. I think they have an identity issue with all these changes. You go to CBT 1 to right now and tell me these games are the exact same.
Well, that's what happened with Paragon and Legacy to Monolith. You had on and Reddit, man. It
failed.
You had Reddit tearing each arm across. Fucking, we need Legacy back. We need this. Fuck this. You know, like everyone was pissed off all the time, no matter what change they made. And I think that led to Paragon's demise, because I feel like if it was a more positive experience, they would have held on to it.
Maybe a more consistent experience.
Yeah,
it would have made a difference.
And that's what I'm saying. You going from the game you completely started with a CBT 1, which I mean, I understand some changes, right? But it's like every CBT, everything was like every patch is completely different. You know?
How do we feel about this last patch where they slowed things down even more?
That's what I'm saying. Like you again, it's changing even more. Like we are now going to more of a traditional MOBA, and a lot of people who love this game love it for other reasons. You know, like it's like you're literally making the game that everybody loved is completely different than what was going on.
I don't know who just joined the Zoom, but I thought, yeah,
Floppy. That's Floppy.
Who?
Right.
Oh,
Floppy.
Okay, that's the person.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let him know that his full name is showing.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
I'll add him as soon as he changes it. I just saw the name and I was like, I don't know who that is. Move it to the other room.
Yeah, so to piggyback off of Birdie, yeah, I think understanding what it is you want to make, because if they keep trying to cater to feedback, then it's going to be another OG Paragon downward spiral. Yeah. So just come up with your identity, which this last patch and how they slow things down a little bit, especially in the early game, I absolutely love it. It bridges that gap or not bridges the gap, but tilts that scale a little bit more left to that MOBA aspect that I was looking for. But at the same time, I still got my brawler moments, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. And if they stick to that and just build on top of that, instead of saying, scrap this, let's come up with this, I think it'll be better for them.
Yeah,
I was telling this to Windu. I do think that this change makes this now a MOBA with PTO aspects, or like that's like this is like their little things. Like, all right, you take League of Legends and Paragon, put them together, but now let's put PTO aspects on. Like this is our twist. This is our little twist that we want, and you keep that MOBA, you're good to go with that.
You guys like the portals?
I'm okay on the portals. I have
no problem with the portals at this point. And maybe just me. I'm sorry to cut you off, Wendy, but I played every MOBA on the market, and every single MOBA I played, for the most part, has some sort of a portal. If it's not a portal on the map, is a character that can teleport him and his teammates to random points on the map. So it's
but that's character design. Something that everybody can use is a little different, right?
Right.
But no, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I still would prefer without it. I would rather them bring back a mechanic that's incredibly hard to balance, like dunking or prime, instead of having portals.
Can I say something about Gadget?
She's broken.
I really love playing Gadget, and you know how she has her like electric field that makes you run faster.
Right.
Yep.
I think there's also like an item that has an active run. Why wouldn't I just go into sprint mode? I mean, like it's literally just like the sprint mode in Overprime.
True. Like if you get boosted by Narbash, it should immediately just put your teammates in sprint mode.
Dude, my sprint is just way faster than anything, and I feel like I'm not using my abilities for Gadget. Like I from when I'm playing Gadget, I don't even unlock that gate until it forces me to. There's no point. I have my sprint.
Well, if that's if you're using it offensively, but if you use it defensively, you could drop it and it stuns in PTO. It stuns the opponent.
Does it?
Like it's not a slow, it's a stun. It literally they get or rooted. Maybe it's a root.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So then you do have that situation,
and you can push your minions forward with it.
Yeah, and
so you can use it strategically in certain areas.
But I do like, if we combo off this idea, I do like that situation that if you run, instead of having that build up time for sprint mode, if you use that, you automatically get put into sprint mode.
Right.
I think that would be cool.
That'd be an interesting twist. Yeah, like any movement ability, like I said, like Narbash's March or whatever the fuck it was called, right? Yeah. Imagine everybody in the AoE, including Narbash, after like 1 second channeling or whatever, like if he plays the drums and at the end of playing the drums, everybody immediately engages into sprint mode. And you can seriously screw your team over because you get stunned when you get hit in sprint mode.
Yo, there's definitely
it could be good and bad in that, but I think that would be something that sets them apart. That'd be cool. Be worth a shot. Floppy, you good there?
Oh yeah, doing good. I don't have a second camera, so I guess
use your first one.
Yeah, use your first one.
All right. I guess it's not letting me because OBS. I'm technically live. Just close it.
Close it.
Are you streaming or anything?
I technically was. So
Alt F4, baby.
Bye.
Oh, that's what it is. If your webcam source is being used by OBS or any other program, it won't let you choose it elsewhere.
Yeah, so you could shut it off in OBS, keep yourself live if that's what you want to do. Yeah. You just need to deactivate it on your OBS so you can use it here.
Got it. I just straight up ended my I'm still kind of learning as I go, so I just ended my OBS. I said bye.
He said bye.
I was like, this is important, bro. I'm like, sorry, chat.
Deuces.
It's honestly all in Still's fault. He didn't prepare it.
I did.
No, it's Still's fault.
This is important.
I'm not
I have to shut it down stream. I'm all about it.
Still just threw me into this, and he was like, "Oh, hey."
Floppy is a veteran Smite player, so I thought it'd be good to get his take on a lot of this because he has been playing an ungodly amount of Overprime.
I see.
Have that perspective.
So I want to start it off here then with Floppy. Smite's skin game is on point and arguably unrivaled. I don't even play Smite. I don't even play Smite as often, but I promise you, every time a new skin goes, I buy it. Like I go get the skin, maybe play a game or two, and then don't come back until like 3-4 months on the road.
So you don't feel bad. I have done it too.
There you are.
Hey. How do we feel?
All right.
So Floppy face reveal.
So the thing for me is like I feel like Overprime has kind of been a perfect blend of like League of Legends and Smite because you have that Smite feel, you have the Smite perspective, but you have the map versatility of League. You have the fact that you actually have to last hit minions like you do in League versus Smite. You can kind of just ride the wave. You know what I mean? Right. And the fact that there's like the different tiers of level in the map, like you gotta go up and down and like verticality and all this other stuff. Like it's definitely it's not something that I think is on par with anything else. Like it's in its own genre, not necessarily aside from a MOBA, but there's something different about this game, and it's combining all these aspects of these different MOBAs to make like a super MOBA in a sense. And I'm having so much fun with it. I uninstalled Smite. Like I love Smite to death, but I was like, don't give me the temptation. If I want to get better at like Overprime, I better play Overprime. You know what I mean? Right. Like I got to jump in. Like I can't be like, oh, let me go play Smite. Like
Floppy had a rough time when he first started playing. I remember the frustration the first time he played.
I'm just competitive, man.
Well, he's really competitive in Smite. So he switched over, bro, and it just wasn't the same. And he goes, "Oh fuck! What do you feel? Was it just experience playing that really caught you up, or like what did the game do to help you?"
Well, I think it's adjusting to the pace. You know, like it's a different pace than Smite. It's a different pace than League, and it's like in its own.
It's a different pace than any MOBA.
Yeah, it really is. Like
there is not a MOBA that goes this fast.
There's not, and so like you really have to play with your minions, and like you have to know the game. Like jumping into a random queue, you know, and like one person could just not know their role or not be playing the right thing, and it's so hard for all the other 4 teammates to like fix that issue amongst themselves, but it's possible. That's the crazy thing, is like, it's difficult as hell, but like the other 4 people can totally come through and like be like, all right, we got to pick up slack for our, you know, homie who's not doing well. And it's crazy. Like, that's why I like the comebacks in this game. It's like Smite, you know, like I was talking with Instill about the difference between Overprime and Predecessor, and how in Predecessor, you know, when they steamroll, it's kind of over.
Yeah, but that's one thing I like to say is, you know, when you're getting smashed in Pred, it's way more difficult to come back. I feel like Overprime, there's a give and take there, but you can always kind of come back if you make a few good moves. You know, you have a team wide.
Still that third prime is a game.
Yeah. The dog's always in the fight with this, but Pred, I feel like if you get a little bit too farmed, all right, you're gonna smash. You know what I mean?
Can I say
it feels like Smite?
I was gonna say, can I say in Overprime, I don't like that the dog is always in the fight specifically, because I feel like those respawn timers are quick as shit. Like you can die in a fight, spawn, and I can still make it back to that same fight half the time, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it definitely should be more punishing.
Before we get too far, I want to double back to the comment about Smite and their skin and their skin game, right? And that's one thing I want to say with PTO and Team Soul Leave. I think Smite has a great skin game because of they're willing to pay for other people's IPs, right? You know, they just had Slipknot. You know, now if Team Soul Leave was out here paying for Slipknot, I'm telling you, Slipknot's skins on this game would be a million times better than Smite. This game, PTO skin game is PTO. Their skin game is good, so much better in my opinion.
Yeah,
they just had. They're not. How long has Smite been out? 13 years.
Yeah, something like
long
that.
Ass time.
I mean, I've only been playing it since it hit Xbox.
So let's have PTO be out there for that long, you know, and then we'll come back and talk about whose skins are better in that situation. I think just a little bit of skins that we've seen here, I would put PTO skin game on top of Smite's.
So I just put on the screen the new 6 skins that were added on the last update. Yeah. Some of those we're familiar with, like Action Hero Twin Blast, and you know, the kind of like
look at the detail in those, bro.
Yeah, the Pocahontas Sparrow. But like that whole Raiden, the Raiden Decker and that Muriel skin that they added with like, I don't know, this like demon robot looking thing. I think those are dope.
That is Zerg's wife. All right,
Rita?
Toy Story.
Oh no, I'm thinking about the wrong one. Okay.
It was whatever his name is, the mean robot dude.
Zerg, yes, Zerg.
Yeah, Zerg.
That's his wife. That is his wife. That's that skin right there.
I said that's Mother Tion right there.
Who the fuck is Mother Tion?
Yeah, that's what all the minions. I control you all.
So one thing I do want to say about the Smite skin game is, like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I've always been thoroughly impressed with their ability to like reach out and diversify and like what they've done with their skins. But there's only 2 battle passes. Like, and I've been playing Smite since it hit Xbox. So I was always a console gamer and then went to PC. So like, I've technically only been playing Smite for like, I want to say like 7 years, maybe, you know?
Okay. Yep.
And I've only purchased 2 battle passes ever. And it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles battle pass.
Ooh,
and it was the Transformers battle pass.
Ooh.
Right? Those are the only 2 that I've ever purchased.
No Avatar?
The only, well, I didn't purchase Avatar because I didn't have the funds at the time.
I feel that
both have been directed by Michael Bay, by the way, just you know. So
wrong Avatar.
To it.
No, I've literally been a Turtles fan since I was like a wee little lad, and like the 1980s Transformers has been a staple in my childhood for a long time. So like, I couldn't help it. You know what I mean? I was like, hold up, like I play Osiris, like that's Leonardo, like I play Wukong. That, you know, and the other 2, I don't really play much Assassins, but just the whole nostalgia of it. But like, I feel like
so is Wukong Donatello? I feel like Wukong has to be Donatello, right?
It is, yeah. Wukong Donatello, it is.
Just had the staff, both staff.
Look,
that's what
but the nostalgia is what hit it for me. I feel like I wouldn't have purchased it otherwise.
Look, I think it's all right. Great idea for all the skins and stuff, but at one point, right, it gets kind of ridiculous, right? I like the lore of Paragon. I like it to be like, you know, immersive.
Unique.
Yeah, if I saw a fucking Ninja Turtle in Overprime, I'd be like, that'd break my immersion for me, right?
No,
like
that makes sense.
You know,
that's a fair point. That's something that you do after you've already got a fleshed out lore, when you're just trying to revamp. After
Iggy and Scorch and Moragash and like all these characters that need, like Zinx, all these characters that need to be in the game. After that, because I mean, if you guys are new to Overprime, go Google all the Paragon heroes.
Full character list.
Yeah, go watch them. Watch the reveals on YouTube. Man, it'll get you hyped for what's coming for these games.
Still several missing, yeah.
I mean, there are so many missing, and I mean, I you know how Warzone, there's all these colorful skins, and it looks like you're a clown running through the circus.
Yeah, it drives me insane. Yeah,
I mean, it's cool, and I'm glad Tarkov they keep that
sense of realism.
You know, yeah, they keep it realistic, right, for the lore. And I think I would love to see Overprime keep it realistic in the lore and not have any crazy stuff in there from like Slipknot characters. And like, let Smite do that, cool. But I think that their bread and butter for making money is going to be making new characters or doing really cool skins of characters that are already here.
I disagree with that though, because you still have that same situation. You have Richter, right? Richter has his lore; he fits in the Paragon situation. But you also have the Krampus skin, and Krampus has a completely different lore, you know. And Krampus is actually a thing, you know. But you have a Krampus skin, so like, why can't I have a Wukong Donatello? I know it's Wukong, but I'm just dressed up as Donatello for this match.
Yeah,
they just have themed events.
The lore.
Okay. So Donatello isn't a standalone character. He's just
he's just a skin for a character that's already in the game.
That character.
Yeah, they just pay for the IP and get a unique skin. Like they had a Stranger Things event, and you can unlock skins for existing characters.
Yeah,
but it was still the original character.
Harper, right?
But that's not weird. Seeing people from Stranger Things in the game when you're a Ninja Turtle and you're like, it's just.
But we live in a different day and age. We also live in a day and age that you got Goku up in Fortnite Kamehameha people, bro.
Yeah, I bought that.
It's a different day and age, bro. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like it's like
Goku.
Yeah, bro. Like, but you got to think of it like this too. I know people that downloaded Fortnite that refused to play it, and they were the guy like, oh, hold up, is that Bulma? Oh, hell no, I'm about to be Bulma in that bitch. Wait a minute. Yeah. And they straight up downloaded the game.
You all know who played it just to play Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Bro.
Darth Vader, you know?
Yeah,
bro,
that was sick. Dude,
it's sick. And like when they had Thanos and everything, like, here's the thing. Yeah. They can have events, by all means. Events can have third-party IP that they pay for and whatnot. Cool, so they get to keep a skin from the event. That's just exclusivity. Like, I participated during the Thanos event. That's why I got this. You get what I'm saying? So it's more revenue for them, but it doesn't change the actual game loop. It doesn't affect the game performance, the game play. It doesn't change the lore. Like a great example is the Krampus. Richter is still Richter. He's still the warden, whatever the hell, right?
It's Krampus.
Yeah, that's just a Krampus skin.
It's easier to have fuck around skins on cartoonish games though, but Paragon Overprime, this is a lot more realistic.
Well,
so
they got to have that same level of quality.
Well, yeah, like Warzone Terminator skin like that. You could have that as Murdock, like Murdock Terminator skin, right?
I'd be lit.
Well, all right. So, how would you feel then? Like, what if they went the route of like, you know, doing all these crazy skins, but what if they still did them in the style of Paragon? Or what if they like
a twist?
What if they like reached out to like artists out in the world that are insane artists to like design some crazy fucking cool skins too? You know what I mean?
Bro, like a Hunger Games Sparrow would be lit.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Like a balance between the two.
Yeah.
Find a way to bring in all this nostalgia and bring in all this other stuff that people love too, but still keep it in the style of PTO where like
fair.
It feels like it fits. Like I feel like a Donatello Wukong in Smite should look nothing like a Donatello Wukong in PTO.
It's got to look like
it would be Floppy. It would be yours, like, so the one in Smite is like the 1980s, cartoon what we grew up with, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the one in Paragon would be the Michael Bay, these last
fucking
two films that they made.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Like,
I know what you're talking about. That swollen ass, like,
bro.
Yeah.
People talk so much shit on those movies, and I love those movies.
I love those movies. I see my kids watch those movies, man.
See, and I gotta say, like, not just on the cartoony side.
It would be the Michael Bay Transformers as well.
You're right, because that fits into the Paragon style of its engine. You know what I mean? Like, just it fits. Like,
yep.
Oh man, that would be so.
I got Floppy all hyped now.
Yeah, and they could easily expand on shit like that.
Yeah,
they could easily expand on it.
Did you guys ever play the Lord of the Rings MOBA back on Xbox 360?
No.
Oh,
Menace said he played all MOBA, so he said to say yes.
Okay, look, that one was sick, bro.
They should bring that back. They should bring that back.
Probably the reason why I never heard of it.
Dude,
you guys know there's a Disney MOBA?
Look.
Okay,
no,
what?
I don't think so.
Where, bro? It's on Steam.
You guys play Pokemon Unite?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did actually.
No.
There's all these MOBAs, and it's like Overprime is just trying to establish itself as a contender for people's time. I mean, that's
contender.
Yeah.
Ooh. Sean C says Mortal Kombat crossover. You can have Richter be a Scorpion.
Richter Scorpion skin. He's a smaller profile, but he's get over here. That'd be lit.
Aurora would be Sub-Zero.
Dude, you could do a Sparrow Legolas gender bend.
I mean, you could. Like, here's the thing. I don't doubt at all that Paragon the Overprime will be the one to reach the third-party IP first, because they've shown how big of a backing they have from Netmarble. And then they've also shown that they know what they're doing skin-wise. They got the quality to make some dope skins. And they need a portfolio before they can pitch that to other third-party IPs.
Oh my God, it looks so nice.
It's a curse. It's a curse. Don't use it, man.
It's a curse.
It's a curse.
Why is it? What do you mean?
Try hard when they see that skin. I've lost every Wukong game with that skin. I win every single one with the basic skin.
Yeah.
So has anybody actually played? So I'm kind of curious, because I play a lot of warriors. Like I do a lot of solo lane and PTO, and so like I jumped into Wukong for the first time, and like, why does he take so long to Wukong?
To Wukong? Okay, all right. So here's a problem.
Why?
Wukong.
Simple answer.
Yeah, what I said earlier was they doubled down on making him a push and flee character, and he absolutely is horrible at squaring up. If you farm your ass off, push tower, like think of it like this, because even with Wukong,
and I'm like,
yeah, like even with Wukong though, you out farm the enemy solo laner. You can easily control that green buff. You can easily take a jungle camp too, but the moment that you square up, you fuck up every single time. It doesn't matter who. You could be going up against a Decker. You're gonna fucking lose. It's wild. It sucks.
like what?
But
no sense.
You literally can solo Baby Prime as soon as you hit level 6. You can solo that tower push. Once that tower goes down, like the moment a team fight starts, you just shove.
Ultimate jungler? Is he like the ultimate jungler, and they just put him as a warrior, or what?
I would say no, just because the ultimate jungler has to be good at securing kills. He's got the CC kit. Okay. He's got the CC kit for it, but he doesn't necessarily have what it takes to finish it. If that makes sense.
This is what happened, bro. This is what happened. So in Paragon, on release, that when they released Wukong, he was the most busted hero that they've ever released.
Yes.
He could take tier 1 tower and tier 2 tower in under like
in one push,
10 minutes. In one push.
The moment he hit level 6, that was the Wukong lane.
And then that was it. And then go fight Prime.
Yep.
He could take some jungle, Prime. Go get some cereal, come back.
He was so powerful, bro. So I think that they were afraid that was going to happen, because that would break the game. Well, it'd piss a lot of people off.
But they also, no disrespect to Epic, but they also had no idea what to fucking do. They also had an item in the game that it was an active. You immediately change an enemy minion wave to allies minions. So you would have imagine a team fight. Imagine a team, Awaken the Emmerich. Imagine you would have a team fight popping off towards Prime Pit, right? And your team's fighting. They're going at it. Wukong is sitting at the enemy inhib collecting minions. He flicks one button, immediately walks with his entire wave and takes the inhib and ends the game and just walks straight to the core and ends the game. There was a lot wrong besides just that.
Can we talk about Aurora Red Zone?
I never did that. I did Steel Red Zone.
Oh, you never did Aurora where you freeze everybody and then everyone would die?
No, I did Steel Red Zone. The moment you dive in, they are dead. That's it.
Oh, shit.
Because you could close the gap and then bah. But anyway,
explain Red Zone to people who didn't get to use it.
Overpowered item. Imagine it's a radius card and everybody inside the radius, including allies, now take 200% damage, basically.
So it's a curse and a blessing. If you get hit and you get fucked up, you die. So but
it's a fucking Hail Mary is what it is.
Yeah, it's a Hail Mary. So I'm not mad that stuff like that isn't in this game, right? But I will say, to kind of just bring it back here towards Paragon the Overprime, they made a lot of changes as far as minions, as far as game pace, slowing down the movement speed, as far as the sprint and everything. I can't say that I like them slowing down the game. Even though I prefer slower type games, I can't say that I agree with them doing that, because a faster pace,
more action.
Well, because a faster paced game is what sets them apart, you know?
Yeah.
That's like going to a Michael Bay film and something doesn't blow up. It's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Before we go down that rabbit hole, because that is in a patch, do you just want to hit the patch from the top and then go into that?
I mean, so let's do this. Let's just kind of talk about things in the patch as we go through it, right? Instead of specifically mentioning it. Just a quick little disclaimer, everybody watching and listening, if you guys have not read or are not aware with the patch, we're going to briefly go over some subjects, but we heavily encourage you to go read it before you listen to this yourself, if you want to go ahead and pause it. But
I guess just real quick though, that Wukong skin, that little ribbon that follows him bothers me, because he'll sit there and do like fucking bow staff tricks, and the ribbon never gets caught with the bow staff. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like
that's his magic.
He's a fucking master, bro. What do you expect?
Bro, who's OCD now?
wait! Don't hit me! Wait, I'm calling my ribbon.
That's what I'm saying. Like if the ribbon doesn't make sense, like you can literally get rid of that ribbon. That skin is still fucking amazing, right? That ribbon doesn't need to be there. So that's what I'm saying. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like everything else is like working perfect, but that right there just bothers me.
Dude, if you look at that picture of that skin, he looks like the most fucking badass character ever, which is kind of sad that he's not.
That is an awesome skin for an underwhelming character. I agree.
Yeah. Like imagine if you're like, I'm gonna buy that fucking skin, but let me try this guy first, and you get fucking whomped.
Tell you what, if I see that Decker skin in lane, I know that's a fucking tryhard, bro. I know I'm about to get lobbed a whole bunch of energy orbs for the next 10 minutes. I'm like, bruh. I think they're doing a great job skin wise. But real quick, so portals got adjusted from 2 minutes down to 1 minute. I think that's just a band-aid to adjust.
You jump right to portals?
Well, yeah, because I just mentioned sprint mode a second ago. I was just going down.
The kill assist XP, like that got changed. Like that's a key thing.
Okay. So kill assist experience got adjusted from 25% down to 20%. That's a slap on the wrist. I mean, sure, it'll help, but a 5% difference doesn't change the fact that in 90 seconds you already have somebody dying on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
Right. And then the fact that you can kill somebody in lane before you finish one minion wave, they're already back in lane. So you're not getting punished. Like that, the 5% is negligible.
Do you guys have like a breakdown of if let's say if me and Floppy are fighting each other in solo and I kill him, how many minions do I have to kill to equate that kill in experience and in gold?
Great question. I don't have that answer. And now, and it makes it a little bit more confusing because they're just talking about EXP that you gain and it's percentage base. It's not like they're giving you a flat gold number along with it. Like if they said, hey, so we're reducing a base level kill with no bounty at 250 gold, for example, we're reducing that to 220 or we're reducing it to 200, etc.
They just don't give you, they just give percentages.
I mean, in most MOBAs, you typically see maybe a kill be worth about like 6 minions or so.
Okay.
Give or take. So it really just depends on where they balance it.
In my lane, I need to go get a jungle camp or something to stay relevant.
To compensate, but the enemy's also now doing the same. So you're essentially a wave behind, right? But a big problem here is if you're getting punished properly, let's say I kill you and I'm still in lane, I just killed you and took one wave.
See, that's what I was wondering is like, how does that equate then when you're stomping somebody? Because, you know, if you kill them and then take their lane and then continue to take their lane and then kill them again, you just kind of snowball, right?
Bro, I honestly
yes, but that's where the bounty system and ganking and team help and etc. comes in.
I feel like in this game, if you're getting behind, I feel like something in the back end where it kind of accelerates the team that's losing to catch them up to make it a more competitive game. I feel like
I don't think so. I think it's just game mechanics. Like, for example, the portals. Like, if you're getting behind in solo in a traditional MOBA, bro, that duo or the enemy, let's say your ally carry, right? Your ally carry, for him to rotate from duo all the way to solo to help you, good luck. They jungle and mid, y'all better help that solo laner because I'm not going way the fuck over there. Yeah. But in Overprime, if I'm a carry that's ahead, I will literally, let's say I just killed 2 people. The first thing I do is look at the map, portals up, solo laner needs help or he's overextended, bet, let me go get another kill. And now that solo laner that was behind now has a chance to catch up and kill, you know, he clears a wave or 2, trying to, you know, like, you know, your carry gets fat, etc. So I think that they're trying to compensate with their problem of balance between respawn timers, how much gold you get, and etc. They're trying to balance it with in-game mechanics that let you just fight to catch up.
So with that being said, a good tip to new players is if you're winning your lane, use the portals to go help other lanes.
True. Every time. Every time. If you're fucking shit up, you can show up in their lane in an instant, bro.
I never use that portal because I always feel like someone's going to be mad that I used it and they didn't.
And they need it.
Oh, no, bro. Especially at...
No, I don't think I really need that.
Well, the cool
bro, especially the solo laner, if you like warriors, bro. Oh, bro, like being in the solo lane, even if you're losing, bro. I could be losing in the solo lane. I know for a fact that carry on the other side is 1 level below me. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna show up somewhere where I'm useful because I'm not useful in this fucking lane.
That makes sense.
You're normally a solo laner, Flobby?
Normally, yeah.
Normally, all right. So as an ADC main, if you were my solo laner, I would much rather you use it and not let the other solo laner use it and come gank me.
So always keep the.
You know what I'm saying? That way, I know totally, that if you're using that on cooldown, I don't have to worry about the solo laner popping up and ganking me all the time. I can focus on my one being ganked from the jungle, and that's all I need to be focused on.
See, I didn't even think about the fact that it was all kind of a shared portal system. Like I always forget that. Like this is my portal, like my team's portal. Like that's not the way it is. It's the portal.
One portal every 2 minutes. So even if you use it on cooldown,
not anymore.
Let's say you're gonna back, right?
Hey, that was changed.
No, 2 minutes is what it is now. It used to be 1 minute.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it used to be 1. Now it's 2. But let's say even if you're gonna back, I'll be honest, this is a dick move. But even if you're gonna back, imagine using that portal and then backing.
Just
to be a dick, but you deny a rotation. On all sides, but it at least keeps it neutral. That's a strat.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that can be helpful or hindering depending on where your team is at in the matchup. You know what I mean? Because if you cut off the rotation from all sides, but your team could have used it, but their team could have, does that, like, what disadvantage is that? You know, like, let's say you and the team both need it or you and the other team both need it at the same time, but you really need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would come down to game sense, because if your team's ahead, like, let's say your duo's ahead and solo's ahead, leave it open. Let's see what happens, because you already control the lane, right? But if your duo's losing and you're losing, hey, you know what? Nobody's using that portal. I don't want their solo or their duo.
Okay.
Good players are going to abuse it, and that's just with everything, you know? I mean, there's been people I've fought in either duo lane or solo lane where they come in, they may be half health. They know they're going to get in a dog fight, but they know that portal's up. They're going to do a little damage. All right, I'm out, you know? And then you're like, fuck! You try and chase into the portal. They leave, you know? You're like, no! Come back, man!
Bro, you know how many times when let's say we're in the middle of a team fight and I see their carry or somebody squishy, turn around and look right at the portal, bro, I will blink into that fucking portal in a heartbeat. Waste my blink just so they die, and then I'll circle back the fuck around and be like, hey, we still fighting? Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. But
I mean, that's cold-hearted. Like, that is...
Yeah, fuck them.
It's honestly what you got to do.
Not in a bad way. Like, I'm not saying it not in a bad way. I'm like, that's like, as soon as he said that, I was like, damn, can you imagine the look on the other person's face when they're about to walk in and they're just like,
it's literally a
100%.
It's literally a call out that I've got used to saying. If we're fighting near a portal and we're winning the fight, I will tell my teammate, or my teammate would tell me,
like,
go, like, stop what you're doing, go take the portal.
Like, support, grab it.
Take it, deny them from fucking going in.
I love the portal. I think it makes it unique. I think it's great.
So to answer what Dapper said in the chat, he says, see, portals do make fun plays.
Yep.
It does make fun plays, just like dunking or prime back in the day was fun as shit. But I don't believe that a fun play or a fun mechanic equals a balanced mechanic. That's where I draw the line, because there are things that break the balance, right? There are things that you'll literally sit there and be like, bro, the game will not reach a good balance state until this mechanic is switched, or until, let's say, death timers. Like, there's no reason why you should be able to die, wait a cooldown, come back in the first 10 minutes and still join the same exact fight. That should be non-existent.
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead realistically here on the patch notes, right?
Okay.
And if you look right at what they're doing, so they've adjusted the XP, they're bringing that down. They have adjusted the sprint, they brought it down. They've made the cooldown for the portal longer, so they're trying to slow it down. But look at this: the T-on balance changes. The movement speed is boosted from 560 to 615, and then also the minion damage to other minions, melee 200. Now it's 400. It's doubled. Essentially, range and siege doubled. So that means that these minions are going to be pushing faster, which means could end up in faster games.
So
that's exactly what they're doing.
That's sped up their
that's to make
slowing down the gameplay.
Think about rotating. That's right now. Before this patch, you could rotate and not have your lane didn't get affected by it. You could literally rotate, get a kill, come back, and you didn't lose anything. Now, if you rotate, you're losing a wave, and there's a chance that your tower is going to take some damage from it.
I like that. It makes it more hectic, right? It makes it more, you have to be more responsible of your lane. But I think the scaling.
But this takes away from your brawler that you love.
Oh, yeah.
This makes it to where it's more of a MOBA instead of being in the brawler, because you have to stay in your lane and focus your lane for a while.
And that's where I struggle, because as a MOBA player, like traditional MOBA player or whatever, right? I love that it feels more like a MOBA, but I also understand that there's a difference between NFL, the game, and then like Madden NFL versus NFL Street. Those are two very different games that play very differently.
Really good comparison.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bro, that is such a really good comparison.
Like, you get me? Like,
MOBA is to this.
Like, exactly. Like, you got to think about it. Like,
for gamers that didn't know how to play the game.
Bro, I used to be exhibit and jump off the walls and catch that shit. Anyway. But here's the thing. Even though I prefer the Madden NFL, I know for a fact that a street version would survive. You get me? Yep. And I know for a fact that if Street started getting more technical, adding mechanics, trying to become more like Madden NFL, bro, at that point, you're trying to be Madden NFL. We already have other competitors that are more MOBA-like. What sets Overprime apart, thank you, what sets Overprime apart from all MOBAs, we said it, you all said it in your own way here, is the fact that it's fast-paced, the fact that it's brawlery. They just need to find a way to make that the focus point and enhance on it.
Be Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%, bro. Like,
look, you literally just hit a soft spot for me. I had to literally turn to the side and Google if there's a PC download for this shit. And
bro,
that was so good.
That was a staple for me, bro. NBA Street, NFL Street. That was a staple.
That shit, NBA Street was my shit. I'm not gonna lie. I like them.
Yeah, bro. Street, bro. But it's different. You can't compare 2K to NBA Street.
No, hey, but listen,
at all, bro. I want to be able to do 3 front flips and dunk every once in a while. And NBA Street, bro.
Well, so what about and then there's also stuff like NBA Jam and other things that can fall in the category of arcade games. But,
and
how do you feel about Well, I was just gonna say, how do you feel about how I can like? Because I really do feel like PTO, in a lot of ways, is like if you took Smite and League and sandwiched those two together, like the aspects of a true MOBA and then the aspects of a third-person MOBA, but like all the best aspects of those. You know what I mean? Like,
I would throw in there with the game pace of Overwatch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That makes sense.
A lot faster pace, constantly pushing, etc. Because that's a mentality
fights.
that people go into whenever it's actiony. You're in it instead of a more dissociated point of view.
Well,
But
think about this. So your point with the street was my favorite point in the show so far.
thank you, bro.
So good.
I think it really hit the nail on the head. And I have a question for you guys. If I took 10 gamers off the street, it could be a variety of whatever they play. I had 2 booths set up, right? One is Madden, one is Street. Who's going to have more fun 9 times out of 10 at what booth? Probably the Street, because it's
going to be NFL Street, and it's only for one reason, because it's new, user friendly,
and it's more exciting, and there's a lot of stuff going on.
It's only more exciting because it's new, user friendly, because you're able to do things that you weren't able to do. Like it's easy. All you do is press one button, and you're doing a triple flip, right? Yeah. You got to press 3 buttons just to be able to do a spin move, and
yeah, but that's the argument between Dota and League. And League is a lot more user friendly than Dota is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, well, I feel like, if you set up those 2 booths, you'd have potentially more fun or more instantaneous gratification on one side, but you're going to see all the people who are like their homies competing against one another, or like all the competitive, like hardcore gamers are going to be like, oh, run it with me and Madden on this booth real quick. You know what I mean? Like there's also that separation as well, is they're the people who thrive in the competitive aspect of the quote unquote simulative, style games that it's hard to get away from, Do
you think Riot doesn't know what Paragon is? I guarantee you they have a third person MOBA in their back pocket, just getting ready to launch in 5 years.
You think so?
Well,
look at the success.
Well, but here's the thing. Interesting. Here's the thing, though, and this is where this is where I'm going to disagree on that, and still, because we of course know that Tencent knows about Paragon, because they owned about 30% share of Paragon back in the day.
Okay.
I think it's in the 30s, 30, 40, somewhere around there. So they definitely know of the project. And now I'll tell you this, for me, if I were the leading MOBA, top-down MOBA, it would be pointless to evolve their game in that way. The same reason why Smite hasn't upgraded from Unreal Engine 3, just because the longevity and the established player base
I'd pull people away from that.
Yeah, it's what keeps you going. What's better is to use that IP and branch out, just like they're doing a Riot fighting game, just like they did their own Valorant shooter game and etc. They already own a MOBA. What they would do instead of doing a third-person MOBA is maybe come out with an Overwatch type game. That I could see them doing, right? To attract that fast-paced ADHD, I just want to be constantly fighting type player, etc. And that's why, Floppy, that's why I brought up the Overwatch comparison to you, because not a lot of people realize that there are MOBA elements, in Paragon The Overprime, by all means. There are brawler elements in Paragon The Overprime, but the pace is much, much faster than any of those of what we're used to. And it's much more like an Overwatch. In Overwatch, you spawn quickly. The longest time that you're not fighting is literally those 15 seconds that you're walking into the fight.
Yeah.
And then besides that, it's just constant action, constant team fight, constant pushing. And I personally think that they should just double down on Paragon The Overprime being so successful at what it does and being so much action. And instead of marketing towards traditional MOBA players, because that's like trying to market NFL Street for Madden NFL lovers. They're not going to want to play that. They're not going to want to play that. But if you market NFL Street to NBA Street, I promise there's going to be some correlation there, because the gameplay is sort of similar.
Okay, that makes sense.
You get what I'm saying? So I think they should really be targeting more Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, like certain games that are much more brawler friendly, as opposed to targeting the giant MOBA demographic, because I think they could do what Pokemon Unite succeeded, making their own game that is MOBA inspired.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to turn what they showed was successful into now a more traditional MOBA. I think that's actually going to hurt them in the long run.
Well, I love what you brought up about, like, you know, how there's all these different styles of games, like not trying to like fall into the same genre, but maybe make a new style of game. And that's something that I really appreciate about Hi-Rez. Like I've got my picks and qualms with, you know, everybody does with every game company, but something I really do appreciate and love about Hi-Rez is, like, you know, they made Smite. They were like, boom, let's jump into a MOBA. And then they were like, oh, Paladins, boom, that's our Overwatch style game. And then they were like, oh, boom, Realm Royale, that's our Battle
That's what
Royale.
Riot's doing.
And then they were like, you know, they did the same thing recently. Boom, Divine Knockout. You know what I mean? And like they're continuing to branch out just like that. And just like Instill said, I feel like that's what Riot's also doing. You know, they got Valorant, which is their team diffusal
competitive shooter,
you know, CS:GO thing. You know, it's like CS:GO mixed with a hero shooter, which is kind of strange, you know. And then they have League, and then they have Team Fight Tactics, you know, and then of course Hi-Rez has Smite Tactics or whatever the hell. So like there's
that got
all
shut down.
these things. Yeah, gosh, yeah. But it's nice to see people trying to do all that, although not everything succeeds. But it just pays to your point of like that's what people should be doing. You know, is instead of trying to recreate something that already exists, you know, maybe take influence and then create something new, you know, within the same genre.
And back to what Beard had said in the beginning, that's where Paragon the Overprime needs to develop their identity. No, because the fact that 2 patches ago, the main developer came on into the blog and said, hey, when we originally designed this game, we wanted it to be 70% combat, 30% strategy. We now realize that that's a mistake. Literally said that somewhere along those lines. I don't want to say word for word, paraphrasing. Yeah. But I don't think that was a mistake. I think the mistake was the fact that you made a very good 70% fighting, 30% strategy game, and then you advertised it to players that are used to 70% strategy, 30% fighting.
I'll read the quote. When designing the game, at first, I designed the game with 70% fight and 30% game management in mind to increase the speed and tension of the game. However, the result was not so, and a lot of snowballing occurred from the beginning of the game.
Now, is this Paragon or is this Overprime?
This is Overprime main dev. Yeah. Overprime main dev like 2 patches ago. So, yeah, and just to go over some of the other changes that they made here, they changed spirit buff. So beforehand, when you used to kill spirit buff, prime spirit buff, it would give you a random buff where it could be mana regen, etc. Now they changed it to where the buff is random every game, but it'll be the same buff all game. So if for that one game you get the wind spirit, now you only get the wind buff for the rest of the game every time you kill it, which is a super interesting choice. But then from there, moving forward, we also see they adjusted a couple of items. I'm not really going to go into the item changes because it's just really balance patches. I will say overall, every character that I played that wasn't Wukong felt great, by all means. The gameplay felt smooth. Wukong was absolute trash. I'm talking about, like, bro, I played what is it? I played Murdock, I played Gadget, I had a blast. The moment I picked up Wukong,
character that wasn't Wukong.
Yeah, bro, the moment I picked up Wukong, I told Bearded straight up, I don't even want to play another fucking game anymore. I'm gonna end my stream, bro.
Dude,
like this,
bro.
I was so distraught, bro. I was like, I just can't do it. Like, literally, my excitement was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go watch some Law and Order or some shit because we're already down the drain now. Like, that's it.
Law and Order over Wukong. You heard
he literally lost that game, and in his head it went dun dun. Like,
yeah, bro. I was like, get me out, just get me out, bro. But a couple things we did see, they adjusted their penalty system. So now if a player quits the game due to errors, their penalties will be kind of a little bit more lenient and stuff. So that's kind of nice to see. Yeah, you can join back always if you disconnect.
Real quick, we got to talk about this. The spirit buff adjustment. I can't stand it. It is the worst change they've ever made.
What is it? Where is this at?
The spirit buff. You have the spirit buff. So prime spirit, summon, condition change. Before, a random element prime spirit would appear every spawn. Now, a random element prime spirit appears upon the first spawn, and that's the same element prime spirit continuously spawns. So you could get literally just like magic power. You get the magic power spirit, and that's what it's going to be the whole rest of the time. You're just going to keep on getting magic power. Well, magic power doesn't help your ADC.
Yeah.
You know, like I like the randomness of it. Like, all right, let's get, this one's going to help you. This one's going to help me. This is, like I prefer the randomness. Like this right here, it makes no sense.
Can I piggyback on this? Because I know I've talked to Windu and Beard about this, but it's still in Floppy. Do you guys know about the 6 prime spirit?
No.
What about you, still?
I don't think so. Well, can you list off all of them? List off the 5 first.
There's 4.
Yeah, list off the 4.
There's Earth, which is
health, right?
The defense one. The defense one. Yeah, physical, magical defense. There's the Wind, which is out of combat movement speed and
like haste or some shit like that.
It might be cooldown. Yeah. There's the Water one, which is the magic power.
Got it. Yeah.
And then there's a Fire one, which is physical power and energy power, just flat energy power.
And there's a gold one too, right?
No. So the 6 prime spirit, and it only spawns when a team, one side of the team collects 5, and then the 6th one will spawn.
I did not know that.
So it's not like
Awaken Shenron sort of vibe. What?
It's not like one team gets 2, and then another team gets 3, and then that 6th one spawn. No, one team has to get 5, and then the 6th one spawns. It's called Prime Spirit of Scylla or something like that. It's black and gold, and it gives you the buff of all the spirits combined.
So this cannot happen anymore because of this update, right?
Yeah. So no, that hasn't changed in the notes.
So is it more of a quantity thing, not what buff you get?
Yeah. Well, so that means that in this
so collect 5 buffs, you get a 6th one.
And then the
6th one pops up.
Okay, so as long as I collect, let's say for instance that random element is magic. If I collect that 5 times, I'm good.
The 6th one.
You're gonna get that.
Okay, cool. I don't have to collect all different ones.
So again, in the patch notes, they did say
it's not Pokemon. You don't got to catch them all.
Got
it. In the patch notes, they did say that this was a temporary thing. It's not permanent until they figure out obviously a better solution. Because I personally think they need to change how long these buffs come up, because the tempo of the game, to get 5 spirits alone,
you gotta be paying for like an hour, bro.
Yeah.
It literally, there's been so many times where I've get it on the 5-minute mark and on the 5-minute mark after that.
So Prime Spirit is Raptor, right?
Yeah.
Essentially. It has taken
the reindeer.
Even if my team is getting it on time when it comes up, and then the enemy team is still sticking through that. That's the other thing. The enemy team has to not surrender. It's still taking that 45-minute mark to even get that objective to spawn. I think they should have brought that top objective and brought it down a little bit to maybe, I guess changes a little bit, because there's so many people who have never seen the 6 prime spirit. And both the times that I got it, it was literally the enemy team had a DC, but those 4 people were dedicated to fucking winning. So they were ready for that hour-long game, you know?
I didn't even know that was a mechanic, to be honest with you. I wish that were a more known mechanic where say it somewhere and be like, hey, did you know?
Yeah.
No. It should be less. Yeah. Like, it almost makes me think like maybe you should only have to get 4. You know, because only 4.
Or reduce the follow-up time for the next one to come.
Exactly.
Because the first one spawned at 5 minutes, have the next one come. I'm just saying number 3 minutes or 4
3 minutes or 2 or something.
Hey, because then you have a fighting area now, something to fight over on the map.
Yeah. If you can't get Prime, you could get that to offset.
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. If I saw it was mana regen, I just didn't fight it, because I'm like, all right.
What's the point?
Yeah. At that point, the temporary buff is more valuable than the actual permanent buff from it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because when it's like in Smite, you know, like when you have or Smite or League or whatever, when you have Baron, right? Mm-hmm. Like in League, you got Baron, or in like Smite, you got the Bull Demon King or the Fire Giant or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And it gives like everybody a crazy buff. That's basically kind of what this is like when you know. Like, regardless of what the buff is, you know, when you know that other team is on the verge of getting that 5th prime and like getting that spawn of the super prime or whatever it is, like that's the equivalent of like the Baron. You don't want him to get that last ditch like edge on you. So it kind of gives you, like you said, gives you something to fight about, just because you want to make sure that they're not the ones succeeding in that endeavor. Even if you're not succeeding, you want to make sure they don't succeed, you know?
So I think, just piggybacking off of what you said, I think they should just do the same thing they do over at Prime. They got Baby Prime and Big Prime. Why don't they have little reindeers and then the big reindeer at 20 minutes? So that way, if they're grabbing Big Prime, let's at least grab a good team buff on this side of the map. The counter.
Yeah. Okay, that damn, I didn't even think about that.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, like, why not? I literally just found out about that shit, man. It's like I didn't even know.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you, next time we play, I'll try to fucking get it. I usually, if I play jungle, like I said, I got it twice, but it's very, very difficult. The situations have to be right. Like,
you gotta have
because more or less, if you're getting 5 spirits, your team is whooping ass. You know, and now the enemy team is probably going to surrender. So
yeah, wouldn't that be just a little too steamrolly? Now that, you know, on the subject, like,
that's what I was saying, maybe it should be less. You know, maybe you should only have to get like 4 or like some
4 or 3 or something. Because even 3, that means you've been consistently getting it for 15, 20 minutes. That's the majority of a game. If you're trying to get most games to finish by 30. So
it's definitely been long games.
So let's do this, because we've already been here for an hour and 47, even though we've had great conversations. Anything you guys want to add, last remarks, last little subjects to add in here before we conclude?
Faye's new remodel, she looks sexy as fuck. All right, I'm done. I'm out.
Wait, what did he say?
Faye's new remodel. If you scroll down farther, her face, she's actually got like a prettier face than what she used to.
I'm just kidding.
So Floppy, I know you didn't get here to do the introduction, so why don't you do like a quick introduction, let people know who you are, and then also let them know where they can find you.
Well, I appreciate that. That's funny, because I was just going to say thank you guys for letting me jump in here on the latter end of things. This was awesome, and the conversation was mad fun to be a part of. I'm Floppy Longboard. I have been streaming for a little while. I've kind of been taken under the wing of Mr. Instill here, who's been helping me along the way. And I'm a working actor. I'm a rapper and a singer. I'm out here in the new mechs, just kind of doing my thing. You can find me at twitch.tv/Floppy Longboard. Instagram's Floppy Longboard. Everything's pretty much Floppy Longboard. So,
all right.
Appreciate you joining, fam. Actually, while we're at it, Instill, if you want to go ahead and just kind of throw your plugs, tell people what you're up to, where they can follow you, etc.
What I'm up to? Man, it's the new year. I've been working out every day, baby, twice a day. Yeah. We have goals here. So if you guys are gamers, right, you're watching this, it's okay, and I'm sure you'll feel better to get a little workout in if you're able to. And if you have all these issues or whatever, just move your body a little bit. Go for a walk if you can walk. If you can't walk, crawl. Like just get moving. I promise you'll feel better out there, and it will probably improve your game performance and your overall attitude about the game. I feel like you'll maybe get mad a little less and frustrated a little less, having that outlet. At least that's been helping me a lot. I don't really get mad at games, but yeah, that's what I recommend. If you take anything away from this,
you're that menace, you start walking around, you'd actually be good at the game.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Wait, hold on. Because I got the game pulled up. I'll pull up the stats real quick.
Damn.
I fucking can't, bro.
You're going to meet me in the prime pit after this.
The prime pit.
All right, everybody. Thanks everybody for hanging out and chatting with us. I am again Menace Rex. You can find me Menace Rex on all socials. I guess just an update for me. We got the move to Florida out the way. The setup is done. Now with this new job and everything, we'll come out with a more solid schedule. That way we get back to the daily YouTube, and then get the streams back on and going.
Congrats on your move, man. That's big stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
He's a Florida man.
I'm a Floridian.
Hey, you're out in East Texas now.
Fair. I'll give you that one. Fair. Okay, I like it.
I'm originally from the Tejas, so I can say that. The
Tejas. All right. As for me, God, continuing grinding, trying to finally get my placements finished. Since after this patch, I've actually been able to get placement matches, so that was good. A great improvement by them in that situation. So still grinding that and working on the YouTube game as well, trying to get back into the swing of that. I had my little hiatus because of work, and it set me behind, so I got to get back into the swing. But in that, you can see me gaming on Mondays and Thursdays on the Bearded Wolverine on Twitch, and then you can find my YouTube at the Bearded Wolverine as well. So
spicy. And guys,
why is it spicy?
Hey man, that's the word, the proper word, spicy. Actually, my Cash App card has the word spicy engraved on it.
It does.
It's a great conversation starter, but
it also goes in the dark.
It does. But so a little bit about what I got going on. Honestly, I've just been focusing on being a dad as much as possible. First year with a baby. She's about to be 1 next month. So I've been really trying to find a proper balance between family and gaming and still being a full-time insurance agent and shit. So I've basically been trying to resort a little bit more to YouTube because that does give me a little bit more availability while still trying to fit in a couple streams here and there. But one thing that I got going right now, and Floppy, I'll talk to you a little bit after the stream here. Basically, so we got this little group that we started doing called Creators Unite, where basically we grab a whole bunch of creators. We make content on Paragon The Overprime and Predecessor, just all these MOBAs. And we show people how much fun it can be to play these games while at the same time coordinating at a high level to show them the potential of what a good team will actually play like. To see some high skill game plays and stuff, right? While we're all having a blast, like you'll see even just like a little bit of conversation, like, oh yeah, I remember, hey yo, behind you, real quick, turn around, focus Murdock. Okay, good kill. But anyway, so like we were saying, my dog one time, you get me? And we're just all having a blast talking. So be on the lookout for those videos. We definitely do a lot as far as highlighting the creators involved on that. We basically do one video per creator on their YouTube or whatever. And then we just give them a specific day. Like, let's say, for example, if Menace releases a video on Tuesday, all of us, we're just going to support Menace's video on Tuesday. We'll share Menace's video, comment, like, just to support each other as creators. And then at the very, very end of all the different points of view being released, I post the compilation on my channel with all the different points of views going back and forth, changing cameras and stuff. It's a super cool thing. Just a little bit of something that we're trying to come up with to create relationships while at the same time provide a little bit of something new.
It's so like 7 a.m. on Sundays, though, so be ready for that.
No, bro. It's fucking at 10 a.m. You just gotta wake up.
I'm kidding.
It still honestly, up anyway. It's already up anyway.
Honestly, though, that actually sounds super dope. Like I'm in a hip hop group, and we have like a similar thing that we do with everybody, and like it just sounds really cool. Like it's the formula itself sounds really cool because the only thing you're going to do off of that is grow off of each other, which is like, why wouldn't you want to do that? Like,
and see the game grow and see new players that they are just discovering this, discover the video and be like, man, what is this? Oh, I got to try this. You know what I mean? And that's really what my goal would be is, I would love people to experience the fun I have playing these games because Paragon's my favorite game ever. It's just the laughs I had, the fun of the Halloween update and the winter update back then, just everything in just overall, it was some of my favorite gaming moments. And I mean, as we get older, we're always like reminiscing on Halo and like all like called like all these old moments that we had that were like the days. And it's cool that now we can create those too and experience that. And I think Paragon, just in general with all of the remakes, I think it has that, at least for me, and I'm hoping it has that for any viewer watching. You just have to try it.
Try it before you deny it, my friend.
Yep. Hey man, a little challenge I always gave myself: before you quit a MOBA, make sure you get to gold. Then you can say if it sucks or not.
Make sure you play Wukong.
No.
Honestly, like just don't. When it comes to MOBAs, like the one thing I can say is like just don't like understand that there's a learning curve and like understand that like it's not a game where you're just gonna run in and run around and fight.
Bro, I thought this was Overwatch.
Like it has to be. You know, you gotta learn. You know, and like do yourself a favor. Like look up freaking Smite Fire, look up a MOBA Fire, look up a build guide so you know what you're doing, and like give yourself a chance to enjoy the game before just going, fuck this shit, I'm out of here. Just
you know what? You are right, Floppy. We should 5-stack right now in Overprime and just crush them. Hey, great idea. All right, send me an invite. Let's see.
I totally got to work tomorrow. But but yeah, guys, we appreciate everybody tuning in to the video. If you guys did make it this far, please, wherever you're watching, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be live on Twitch, just do me a favor, go ahead and type out a GG just to let everybody know you made it this far. You've been here the whole time. But we appreciate you. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
My hands are blurred.
Love you guys.
He said my hands are gone.
Peace.
We got to play this game together.